This podcast episode is brought to you by The Cry Lounge. The Cry Lounge is an independent publishing company founded by this podcast's hosts, Bonnie Orbison. The Cry Lounge transfers your daydreams onto paper. With 2 book releases the past 2 years, they are preparing to extend their service to other authors and other creatives. To get more details and support this show, there's a link in the description you can check out. The Cry Lounge looks forward to meeting you. Welcome everyone to a new episode of Bonnie's Legends. I'm Bonnie Orbison and I'm gonna present you every week, every Monday, one of my legends. This week's legend is called Zeplyn, and I accidentally discovered her and unaccidentally, I don't know if this word exists, texted her to be my podcast and she immediately said yes, and here we are. Zeplyn is a singer, model and photographer nearby London. You will probably hear her accent, and for the first time maybe you will hear that I don't have a British accent. My accent is I have probably a mix of a little bit British, a lot American, and maybe sometimes a little bit German. Where does that come from? Jokes aside, have fun listening to our conversation because Zeplyn and we had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. You'll hear it. Have fun.
Hello.
Oh, good.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you for being my guest.
That's okay. My pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zeplyn, singer, musician and producer, right?
Well, I'm all right at production. I wouldn't say I'm amazing. I try. Getting better.
I discovered you accidentally through your cover of I Lost a Friend by Phineas. I love the song and I love the cover. And I immediately texted you if you want to be my podcast. That was really immediately.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. It's a really good song. So it's, yeah.
And you have an amazing voice.
Oh,
you have an amazing voice.
I like covering songs that boys have sung. I don't know why. I think it's a good range.
Okay, I ask you 16 random questions. I ask them every guest. So, what's your full name?
My full name? Oh, no. I hate my middle name. It's Rachel Helen Wilkinson.
You hate Helen.
I don't know. I just wish it was something cooler.
Yeah, but I can tell you.
I offended people now. I don't really hate it.
I can tell you that my first book, which will come out in 1 month, I almost called my main character Helen, but then I changed the name, and then yeah.
It's not so bad then. I won't complain.
When's your birthday?
The 3rd of August. I'm not going to say the rest of it.
No, that's okay.
1994. Yeah, let's go with that.
Favorite color?
Purple.
Do you have any pets?
Pets. I have 3 cats. Oh, but one of them is probably going to try and make it sway in. I wouldn't be surprised. There's Aslan, Gister, and Brian.
So a cat lady.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. I would. It's not cool, is it, cat lady? But I'm a self-professed cat lady. Yeah, I love cats.
Yeah. My sister has 2 cats too, so don't worry. Where are you from?
Hertfordshire, in England, outside of London. So.
Okay. Favorite food?
Ooh, that's really hard. I love food, but if I had to, if someone forced it out of me with a lie detector, it would probably be spaghetti bolognese, which is really boring probably, but I love spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
It's so comforting, isn't it? It's like, what should I eat?
Yeah.
There's always a bolognese in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly. Favorite song or a song what follows you for your whole life?
Lover You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley.
Favorite artist?
Ooh.
It can be painter, musician, or actors.
Oh wow, you're putting actors in there as well. Crikey. That's really difficult. Can I do so? Jeff Buckley, obviously, and then like current day favorite artist is probably Banks because I love Banks. An actor would be Tom
Yeah.
Hanks. I have to put 3 in. I can't pick. I'm indecisive.
It's okay. Favorite film?
Oh, I really struggle with this one. People always ask me this, and I love Pixar movies, which is lame. So I love like Up, and I love Coco. Coco's one of my favourite films. But then I also love war films like 1917, and I love The Joker. I know they're like really recent. I love them, but then I also love like Shawshank Redemption and Saving Private Ryan and stuff. It's really difficult. I don't know. Oh, okay, no, I will. Oh, what's it called? I posted it the other day on my story. Oh, it's going to come back to me, and it's going to. Oh my god, A Time to Kill. It's all A Time to Kill. It's got Matthew McConaughey in it. It's amazing, especially one to watch right now.
Yeah, and Matthew McConaughey is a great actor.
The end scene, just watch it just for the end scene. It's literally harrowing. You're like, so good.
Favorite book?
Favorite book? Tess of the D'Urbervilles.
What languages can you speak?
Just English, sadly. I'm embarrassed. I know a little bit of German and a little bit of Dutch because my brother-in-law is from Holland.
I'm German.
One thing in a spin. Oh, are you? Okay, so how good? Okay, should I embarrass myself and do some German? Maybe not.
Anything good. What's your most used word or phrase?
It's not really a word or a phrase, but I do this a lot. That count.
Yeah, that counts. Do you still have any music on vinyl or cassettes?
There's a lot of vinyl downstairs. Yeah, I don't know if I still have cassettes. Wish that I did.
I have one.
Have one. What is it?
Yeah, it's a soundtrack. I don't know. I got it from Christmas. Like this game where the classmates give you presents and you have to choose one. And that was a cassette. I can play it, but I have it.
Nice. I don't even think I've got a cassette. If I had a cassette, I wouldn't know where to play it, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Do you sing in the shower?
Oh yeah, it's the best place to sing. It's got natural reverb.
Yes.
Although you forget there are people in the house sometimes, so yeah, they're probably not a fan.
What's the first thing you do in the morning? Like your morning ritual?
I have a cup of tea. I have a cup of tea and then I think, what can I do today? And generally it's something music related. And then I'll go for a walk. I tend to go for a walk in the morning now. I used to do it at the end of the day, but I go for a walk just to clear my head, respond to emails, respond to people, and then I sort of crack on with the task that I've got that day. And then I sometimes go for another walk.
Who's your legend?
Oh, I'd like to say Jeff Buckley again, but I'm going to have to go with Stevie Nicks or Lindsay Buckingham for that.
Stevie Nicks is also great. You have a framed picture of Jeff Buckley, right?
Oh yeah, it's up there. I've got. Oh no, I'm making everything fall down. Oh dear. Well, I've created havoc. Ignore me. It's all right. I sorted it out. I don't know whether that's his signature or it's I think that's the artist that painted it. I would like to think it's his signature, but it's not. We'll pop him there. He makes an appearance in all my videos.
Yeah, I have also a James Dean framed picture. I got it from Christmas once. I like him. He's a legend, but I'm not having a crush on him or something. And I don't know why I got it as a present, but maybe the picture is beautiful. Yeah,
it's still cool. It's a cool picture to have, to be fair.
Yes. Okay, so let's start now the main questions. When did you start singing? When did you discover your voice or the music in genre?
I mean, I've been singing my whole life. I went to a Saturday school where you do sort of like singing, dancing and drama. And I did that for a long time. So I took part in loads of performances, plays. I was Zeplyn in Les Mis, which was fun. And then I guess secondary school, I got serious about it. I started realising, I'm actually, I'm all right. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I can write some songs. I started writing songs when I was about 13. They're rubbish. Some of them are all right, actually. I looked back on them the other day and I was like, do you know what? I could probably use some of these now. So I started writing and then I started entering sort of the talent competitions at school, which was good. And then, yeah, just since then, I've just absolutely loved it. I left school, went to university, started a band while I was in university, Ivy and Gold. People are probably familiar with that still. It's still on Spotify. It still gets quite a lot of plays. I don't know how. but I don't know who's listening to it, to be honest. And then that didn't go the way I wanted it to, and then I started Zeppelin. So it's been a constant my whole life, singing, to be fair. That was a long answer, I'm sorry.
That's okay. What were your influences?
My parents were big influences probably on the path I took, purely because they're so into music. You know, my dad used to put records on the vinyl. He used to put vinyl every Sunday, and he had speakers all throughout the house, so you couldn't really escape it. And I was just like, no, I love this. And I had to harp on back, but like Led Zeppelin, Jeff Buckley, Fleetwood Mac, Steely Dan, there's so many, Tori Amos. I was just constantly on repeat every Sunday, and I just fell in love with it. So they were my main inspirations when I was younger. And then obviously you grow up and you start listening to more current music. So it sort of came from my parents, and then the music they showed me was really inspiring, and I just fell in love with it. I think you have it in you, then it comes out.
Yes. Did your parents make music? Did they already make music, or no?
No, my mum sounds like a drowning cat when she sings. Don't care that I said that. It's awful.
My mom will kill me if I say this, but I can relate to this.
It's not good. It's like, no! Oh. But my dad, I don't know. I think he's all right. He tries to play the guitar, bless him.
Okay.
I think it's my nan. My nan's brother was really good at singing, and my mum's dad's dad. I think it was my mum's dad's dad. So there's a few people in the family that are good.
How or when did you realize that music is gonna be your passion? You already said it, like the university, the bands, and was it like that moment where you knew that's my job?
I think it was a hobby for a long time. And then when I got in the band, obviously I was like, wow. And it was doing well. Like from the outside, it was, we did a lot of really cool things. And I thought, oh, this could actually be my job. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I don't want to do anything else. I did try to do other things. I went in and out of jobs, and I was never happy, because really I just want to be doing music. So probably in about 2013, 14, I realised, like, maybe before then. But before that, I was just like, I'll be lucky if this turns into like an actual job.
Okay, so how did you start then making music after the band?
What, the Zeppelin music?
Yes.
So I teamed up with a good producer and a long-term friend, and he told me what equipment to get. So I got it, and I started sort of doing some songs. Then I took them to him, and he was like, oh, these are good. And then he produced them up. He co-wrote them with me and did some of the top line. And then I was like, oh, these are actually really decent. And he was like, oh, no, they are really good. And I figured, do you know what? I'm going to release them. I'm going to start a whole new brand, I guess you could call it, because I'm not called Zeppelin. My name's Rachel, but that's not cool. So I came up with Zeppelin's cool. And then just released them. I didn't really have a plan. I released the first one. It did sort of, people were like, oh, this is good. The second one did better. And then the third one, I did a whole video around, and it's just sort of built in. So that's how Zeppelin sort of came about. I was lucky that I had a producer.
How did you come up with the name Zeppelin?
Whenever anyone asks me this, I wish I had a better story, but I was on Facebook, and somebody had like posted a list of like 2019's top baby names for girls, and I didn't click on it. I could just see one of the top ones was Zeppelin, and it was spelt differently from Led Zeppelin. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I really like that. Not only do I love the band, but I just thought it was better than Rachel. And obviously people call me Ray, but there's already a Ray, so I couldn't really call myself Ray. So yeah, Zeppelin, that's where it came from. And I just liked it. I didn't like my old band's name. I really hated it, and it really affected me when we did shows, when I had to say, okay, we're in gold. I'd be like, ugh. So I had to make sure it was something that I really liked this time.
Are you producing on your own too, or just co-producing?
Yeah,
okay.
So I semi-produced, I think that's probably a bit bold to say, but I would do the skeleton of the song and do the production, and then take it to my producer, and he would replace sounds, put more in, because he's an expert, but more often than not, some of the stuff that I'd put in would stay in the mix. So you could say it was a co-production, but not only on a minor scale on my side. But since then, in lockdown, I've been learning a lot about production. I've got a lot of new plugins. I've got my MIDI keyboard, you can't see it. I've got my MIDI keyboard, which I've been trying to get grips with. So yeah, I'm trying to get good at production, and with the covers as well, I've had to get good at doing vocal production and stuff like that. So it's been really interesting.
Are you making everything, like the instruments, are you playing them, or?
So I'm okay at guitar. I played in the guitar for the Who cover, the Barbara O'Reilly cover, and it was actually one It's not very good. I will songwrite on the guitar because I think the guitar is the easiest thing to songwrite on. And then piano, I used to be good at the piano when I was younger. Now I use the MIDI keyboard and just sort of hope it works. And then I have a plugin where it sort of does the chords for you. So it's not really cheating, but it certainly helps.
Yeah. Or do you have any musicians who you work with, except a few producer?
Yeah, I've worked with a few producers now. I've just had one do a song that I want to release fairly soon. I got the mix back for that, and it's really, really good. So I've just got to do the vocal. So I've got him, and he's a musician, so he could probably help me with my live stuff. But I had shows planned, and then lockdown happened. So I was in the process of finding musicians, and then because all this happened, it sort of put a halt on it. So I do have people that I can ask when it comes back, but for now, obviously, there's no point because no one's in shows, so I'll have to wait. The jury's out on that one.
Do you already play live concerts or with Zeppelin or just with the other projects?
Not with Zeppelin so far. I had I had a radio show booked, and I had a few shows booked that got cancelled. But with my old band, we did loads of shows. We did tons of shows. It was really fun. We did Abbey Road Studios, which was a massive highlight for me.
Yeah.
And we supported Paolo Nutini, which was cool. So I've had a lot of experience, so it doesn't really faze me, the live side. That's the stuff I really love, so I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to do live shows.
How was the name again from your band?
It was Ivy and Gold.
Okay. But it sounds great, kind of.
Yeah, I love the music. I listen back to it now, and people say to me like, oh my god, they're still fans. And I listen back, and I do love it. It was just a different era of my life, I guess.
Do you have a warm-up for your voice?
Yeah, I do the Brett Manning warm-up. He's like an American guy. He's quite cheesy, but it's really good. And there's one that my producer sent me, but he didn't know. I went on tour with him because he's an artist as well, and he would do this vocal warm-up every night, and I sort of memorized it. So sometimes I do that. It was sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That sort of vibe.
Okay.
Better than that.
Did you or do you have singing lessons?
I haven't recently. I went to the Saturday school, so I had singing lessons from a guy called Stuart. People always say, how are you so good at your falsetto voice? And I attribute that to him because he really went in hard on the falsetto voice and teaching us about that. And I guess I listened and I learned. And then I had singing lessons from a guy called Richard, who's really, really good. But yeah, that was, the last singing lesson I had was probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I should probably have more because, there's always room for improvement,
Yeah, that's true. I write songs too, but I think for everybody, songwriting is different. How is your process of songwriting going?
Generally, so I write lyrics all the time. I went for a walk this morning and I'm writing lyrics. So I have so many notes full of lyrics. But if I think that something's hooky, I'll go to my computer. I'll open my Pro Tools session and I'll go onto Splice, which is sort of a big audio database that has loads of different samples. And I'll pick a key, and if I find some chords that I feel fit well, I'll start playing them, and then I'll try and sing the top line over it and see if it works, and then sort of change it to see if it works. And I do like to get other people involved because I do think that when you're doing it just on your own, you can get lost in it and it doesn't end up being the best it can be. So it's good to get other people involved to say, that's not good, it should probably sound a bit more like this. So yeah. I just do it on my own if no one's about. But yeah, generally I'll write the lyrics first. Sometimes producers send me something to sing on top of, and if I really like it, it will just flood out of me, even if I don't have lyrics in front of me. So there is. What do you do?
I'm writing songs too, and almost sometimes I can sleep, and then I took my notebook or just a paper, and then I start writing lyrics, and I already have this.
Hey, nice. You've got a folder that's very organised.
Yeah, I think I have some throwing. I don't know. They are not all, so.
Yeah, I've got loads on my phone
there.
and then I've got a book over there. It looks like something from Lord of the Rings, the book that I used to write on. Love it though, creative.
How did songwriting change during this time?
I've probably done more of it just because there's nothing else to do. I guess in general normal life there's lots of other things to be getting on with, constantly coming up with visuals. I have other jobs outside of music that I do, So because I can't do them now in lockdown, I have to focus on the songwriting. And yeah, I've just been doing more of it and then learning more about the tools to make it sound better. Pro Tools, the MIDI keyboard, I'm trying to get better at guitar and stuff. So I guess that's how it's changed in lockdown, just being way more proactive.
What are your other jobs?
I do modelling, which obviously sort of halted, and I do videography and photography. So that's how I film my stuff, because I already have that skill. So I filmed the brother video and the folded video in my bathroom, and I do most of my own photography and stuff. So yeah, so that's what I do. I do modelling and photography outside of music, but music is my main thing.
And everything about like making art. Because
yeah, I need
is,
to create. I need to be creative, really. If I'm not being creative, I'm sad. Get me doing data entry, I'll get really sad.
Where do you want to go? What are your goals?
My goals. Ooh, this is always a hard one because it's so hard to predict what's going to happen in the future. I would like it to carry on how it's going. It seems to be going well. I think I post, people seem to like. I think because I'm quite honest, and I don't cover a song unless I really like it and believe in it, and if it resonates with me in that moment. So if I carry on doing that, hopefully in the future, you know, it'll just keep going up and up and up and up, and I'll start, you know, doing lots of shows, releasing more music. I've already got a team involved. Obviously they can't do anything right now because of lockdown, so I'd be happy to see where that goes. But yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I'd love to say, oh, I'm going to be a touring artist and have a number one, but yeah, everybody probably wants that. But whether or not it will happen, it's down to you and your ability as a songwriter and the tenacity you have to push through and make it happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, is anything coming up? I know with this whole situation, like it's really like unstable, but what's coming up? New single, an EP, an album?
So I have a single. So I'm working on the single. As I say, the producer that I've sent it to, he sent me a first draft and I really love it. It's different from everything else I've released. Much different. It's the You Won't Let Me Leave. There's a clip on it on my Instagram and people seem to really like it. So it's that. So I'll be releasing that. And to be fair, I've just been writing loads of songs and I've got loads of demos. So it's just finding the right producers. I've got enough songs to release an EP. So that would be nice. It would be nice. And I have to come up with all the visuals for it because I do all the visuals myself. I'm quite self-sufficient. That's the short-term plan. It's just writing really good songs, putting out really good content and getting stuff ready for this single that I want to release, you know, thinking about what I want to do visually. But yeah, it's limited in lockdown because I can't do show. I think radio show, that might happen. They might rearrange that because they're sort of lessening the rules, but anything else, just wait and see.
At the end, I want to tell you that I love Brother. The entire song, the music video, everything. I literally had tears in my eyes when I watched the music video and the lyrics because it's so emotional. And I think for me, I can relate to it. Maybe it was because of that too, because last year my brother and I, we lost a good friend who was like a brother to us. And during listening to your song and the music video, I was like, oh, this is what I feel when I think of him. And that's, I want to thank you for this song.
That's why I wrote it. That means a lot to me actually, because obviously I wrote it, and because it was about something so sensitive and so raw to me, it came out and I never really changed anything that I wrote apart from the chorus. My producer helped me with a bit in the chorus. As the world keeps turning, I still feel the burn. So he actually helped me with that line, because when you're in it and you're that emotional, it's really difficult to think outwardly of a hook. So he was helpful with that. But the verses just came out of me, and I was like, I'm not changing them, even if they're too obvious, because I think it might resonate with people. And if it helps you, that's great, because that's what I wanted. I wanted it to help people that have been through similar trauma to me and my family. But it's nice to know that it helps. Healing. Sometimes music can be healing, even if it's sad.
Yes, music heals, definitely. Like in the last days, I'm like really productive and really busy with my podcast and that stuff. And then with my first book, which will come out next month, it's really like, I really like have to listen to music before I go to sleep because I have to calm down.
You know what? I've got a friend and he's just released a documentary that he did for his dissertation, and it's about how music affects your performance. Okay. So I have to send it. Very interesting. So he's got a horse rider, a painter, and a model / fitness person, and they're just sort of telling their story about how music helps them do their job, I guess. So it's just exactly what you said. You know, without music, you wouldn't be able to calm down and find that inner peace for you to finish what you're doing. What's your book about?
My book is a love drama story. It's really like it's a breakup story, and then finding new love.
Very fun.
While writing these books, I'm always listening to music. I can write without listening to music. I don't know. It's just so silent.
Yeah, you might like some of the Ivy and Gold stuff then, because a lot of that's about that heartbreak stuff. No, actually, no. This is the current stuff. The current stuff.
All right, that was beautiful.
Thank you. So I'm a waffler.
That's okay. Me too.
Good.
Okay, great. Then thank you and bye. I wish you a
That's my
lovely
pleasure.
afternoon.
Yeah, I thought you say evening. I was like, what's the time, Craig? Have a good afternoon to you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
That was Zeplyn, and her new single will probably come out soon. When I'm talking about releasing stuff, my book, I talked quite a lot about in this episode, will come out soon too. Sunday I'm gonna to drop the date, and yeah, also then it will be soon time for a new episode with one of my legends. And I wish you a wonderful new week. My name is Bonnie Orbison, and I'm happy to call myself the host of this phenomenal podcast. Bye!